Live, it's the Fans Perspective. I'm Tyson.
And I'm Josh.
Thanks for tuning into the show. We got a lot to go over tonight. It's been a week. How you been, man?
Oh man, it's been a great week. You know, Super Bowl ends and you just assume shit.
Well, that's what a Flames fan would
Oh,
have. Yeah.
God, of course. You know what? The Flames had not a bad weekend until about 20 minutes ago when I checked and they freaking lost today again. Anywho, we're not talking about that right now.
Okay, yeah.
Move on to some happier things. First of all,
You want to talk Ravens then, I guess.
Hey,
eh?
you know what, right? They didn't lose today. They never lost.
No, I heard they're tied for first.
Let's have a little whiskey.
Sounds good.
For
Sounds
my
good.
friend
And that's whiskey by who again?
5-9 whiskey. Get you
Oh.
some. If you ain't drinking 5-9, your parents don't love you.
Awesome stuff.
There
Awesome
we
stuff.
go.
You betcha. You bet. So we're going to go over a couple of different things today. You put a little video out there on the weekend. We're going to cover each division in football. We had the XFL rolling, the NHL talk, some Major League Baseball rule changes. Let's start with the NBA All-Star Weekend.
Oh, man. Who says white man can't jump, Tyson? Tom McClung.
Let's give him a cheer there, eh? Oh, Mac McClung, slam dunk champ.
Saved the slam dunk competition.
Yeah.
That has been lame since Jordan, literally, man.
I know. He's not even an NBA player.
No,
he's a G-League.
Shortest guy in the event. And he was white. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, who says white men can't jump? Eh?
Nobody anymore.
Yeah, we're total believers
Dude,
in that.
he's my hero.
I want to see you there next year. That's all I'm saying.
5'5". You know, I got what it
We
takes.
might have to lower the hoop, but
We're going to do the 8-foot hoop for me.
brought back days. I'm not going to lie. Vince Carter,
Yeah.
wasn't he awesome in the slam dunk?
He was. I mean, I kind of skipped over that era, but you're right. Vince was awesome. Jordan.
Vinsanity, yeah. And here Mr. McClung comes this weekend and kind of does some awesome slams, brought back the days of Vince Carter to me.
All three of his dunks were dunks I've never actually seen all the variations from. Everyone else, you know, tries to revamp it their own way.
Jump over somebody.
Yeah, no, he jumps over two guys, slams the ball against the backboard, and then turns and hits it backward. Like, every little thing when they slow-moed it was like, holy shit, I did not even see that.
Athlete.
Oh, sorry, I already swore. I'll say one more shit. And we got ourselves a new swear jar.
Oh, yeah.
Brought to us by Dwayne Schneider. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, Dwayne. Look at there.
We're going to dump all the change into our new fancy. We're moving up. We're no longer low budget.
I probably think he's been listening to the podcast and he's like, no way are they ever going to fit all their change in that little jar.
So we got a 1 liter jug.
I'm going to start it with a 5 here because I know I'm going to need some goddamn credit.
All right. Well, there we go. The 5 is in the swear jar. You didn't hear it, but I saw it, folks.
Oh, it totally went in there. But yeah, Mac McClung, awesome job. Damian Lillard, 3-point.
Yep.
The skills competition in the NBA is very well done. I do like it.
It is. Compared to, like, hockey and football, man, it is. It's better. It is. It's crazy because I'm not a huge basketball fan, but it's better.
Yeah, it is. And I didn't see anybody wearing a white tuxedo doing
No.
a 3-point thing.
There was none of that. No, I mean,
boo to Mitchie Marner for that in the
Oh.
NHL, like embarrassing.
typical Leaf.
Yeah.
Typical.
The game, yeah, the Leafs, you suck.
Boo.
The game itself, I couldn't have cared less.
Yeah, no, that's the one thing I didn't watch.
It was it wasn't worth it. It was like 190 to
Yeah.
170 something.
Dude, that's ridiculous.
Like-
Good defense, boys.
Yeah, that was some performance of defense there. You can't deny that.
Yeah, they should play for the Flames.
How about them Oilers
Yeah,
too?
how
Like
about them
losing overtimes. We can't win in overtime anymore. The magic is gone.
I feel like Alberta. Let's get to overtime and lose. That should be the new slogan.
You know what? I think I know what the problem is.
What do you got for me?
It's the oil sands. Too high emissions. in
That's
Alberta.
probably true.
We can't win.
They should carbon tax it, and then we'd win in overtime.
Yeah.
Let's
Get rid of those
tax
emissions.
the overtime.
Yeah.
We'll get rid of them emissions.
And we will start winning. again.
Winning.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Trudeau. We got your back. brother.
And it will save the environment.
Yeah,
as
we're
well.
gonna one carbon tax per overtime at a time. We got you.
Oh, ain't that the truth? That would probably do as good as the original carbon tax.
Yeah.
That's a whole
Might
other story.
Probably do better, to be honest with you. Fuck the carbon tax. All right.
Yeah.
One more.
Boo to the carbon
Yep.
tax. It does shit for the environment. It's just another tax.
It's just costing
Just
me and
saying.
Tyson our swear jar.
Oh, yeah, it is. But let's get into the football. We are going to talk about the AFC East, but I actually am going to start with the XFL.
Dude, come on. I know a lot of my buddies, when I text them, what are you doing today? I'm just checking out the XFL game. They're like, why? I said, it's new. It's football. Let's give it a shot. Like, why not? Man, I loved it, to be honest with you. I'm not telling you it's the NFL or it's going to replace us
Never will
diehard
be. Never
CFL
will be.
guys.
Right.
But it does bring a different element. I will tell you, they did it right, in my opinion, in the difference in rules. Not completely making it a gimmick, but some of the rules were fantastic.
Yeah, I like them. And it started out great. I don't know if you watched the promo, Player 54.
Yeah, you texted me, and so I turned it on.
And
smoking a cigar through my window outside, cranked the volume inside, and watched through the window.
Diehard fan.
Oh,
right?
big fan.
But I mean, they started it right. They promoted it well.
Yep.
After watching that hour, Player 54, I was cheering for the XFL immediately.
I want it to work.
Yes,
And
I do too.
And then after one game, I was like, all right, I'm tuning into the second one. Typical Canadian television. We don't get the second one. They only air the first one of the day, both frickin' days. So, I got the first
boo
one.
to is it Bell that you have?
Yeah,
down there?
and Trudeau runs Bell. So
Oh,
here we go.
yeah.
Another clap for Mr.
Get a
Carbon
pirate
Tax.
American dish. Get it over
I'm
with.
going to have to. You know what? I'll legally do it just to get my television. Why not?
But I did get glimpses of all four games. I do have one of those American dishes that we so talk about.
God, I can't hide money.
Anyways, all the games were very entertaining. I do love the new rules. I like that they can go for a 2-point conversion, a 3-point conversion. I love the 4th and 15 for the onside kick.
Let's go into that a little bit. So that one game, 15-3 with 1:30 left. Game over in any other league. And that's why I said the XFL brings something that's different. The CFL always claims what? It ain't over till it's over or whatever. Or they got a specific saying, the CFL.
Until your
uses.
starter gets hurt.
Yeah, no, let's okay, quit hurting me. So, 1:30, game should be over. You're up by 12 points. No, they go down and they get a touchdown.
Score a touchdown.
So 6 points. And they're like, all right, let's go for 3. Bang, they get it. 9 points.
From the 10-yard line.
From the 10. So you
From
either
the
go
10.
from the 2-yard line is 1 point, 5-yard line is 2 points,
2,
10-yard is 3.
Yes.
They went for that. Got it.
Got it.
And then you have the option to take a 4th and 15 from your own 25. If you don't get it, the other team gets the ball right there. So it's
Right
a
on.
risk, but with no time left on the clock, basically.
Nothing to
You're
lose.
not risking anything. Well, they don't only get it, they go all the way down the field and they end up
Get
scoring
another
a
touchdown.
before the game ends and they win. Like, that is, man, I bet you the guys on sports books and sports betting are just like, holy, there's money to be made in the XFL betting world.
100%. 100%.
And I was just like, I was cooking because that's what I do. And I was like, oh, this game sucks. Like, oh, God, another, this sucks. This one was pissing me off because it stayed separated the whole time.
Yep.
But then, when the crunch time comes, play calls are a little different. The game tightens up a bit.
It does.
And I looked and I'm like, oh, wow, 9 point. They got it close.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, 4th and 15. And I'm like, I start listening and really paying attention. I'm like, if they get this, it's like game back on right here. Sure enough, they get it. It was a great throw and catch, too. Right on the sideline, 2 feet down, out of bounds. Looked great. All the way down and score. I'm like, holy shit. It was the glory days. It was kind of like the mile-high miracle for Flacco and the Ravens back then. I was like, I'm hooked.
It did, and I don't know if you've seen. I know I didn't, but did they have any coaches challenges in any? Of the
There
games
was
that
one
you've
in one
seen?
of the games. I didn't see it, but yes, there was a coach's challenge, which I love.
Awesome rule.
Absolutely, and I like the kickoff rule. Another one a little different.
Yep.
The entire team, other than the holder, kicker, and returner, are stationary at what, the 40-yard line, something like that?
Yes,
Or-
yeah. They both. So the
They line up
receiving
5
team
yards
lines
apart.
up at the 35. The kicking team at the 40. The kicker is back in his own end.
Yeah, like
he
normal.
kicks off, and no one can move until the
The ball is
receiving
caught.
team is catching
It's
it.
a safety situation, and
Yep.
it makes every kickoff returnable at that
It
point.
does.
And it does add a different element. There were some big hits because of it, and there were some great runs, and it just adds a little excitement. and speed to the game, which I thought was, and it's nice that it's a little different. CFL's got a ton of differences. NFL's its own uniqueness, and now it's got to be a little different, and I think they nailed it. And the command center.
Oh, yeah, that was totally cool.
Wicked. They take you right inside.
Yeah. Show you what they're looking at. Hear their discussions.
It's live.
It is live.
So it's not like they're sitting there like we assume they are in the CFL. What are you doing over there, Jerry? I don't know. You even got it on the screen? No. What do you think it is? They're picking their nose. Is it the Riders? Fuck them. Give it to the other guys.
No, it's the Chiefs. That was a penalty call.
Oh.
Son of a bitches.
Oh, I'm going to throw one in for Tyson. Swear Jar's filling, and he is
that
not
call
happy.
still gets me, man.
He's revved up, folks.
But I think the NFL, with the XFL's rule changes, they're going to be forced to change some things.
Oh, it always brings, when you have, I'm not saying it's competition because it's not, they're different things. But when people start talking, like we are, guaranteed we're not the only ones. Man, I was on Twitter.
Nope.
A ton of people are like, I didn't really like it. There's not as much talent, but man, I love this or I love this. And I'm like, well, that means they watched the whole thing. And they loved, a ton of the things they loved was the game itself.
Yep. One thing I could do without, after it seemed like every possession, they were on the sidelines.
Oh, man, the interview stuff.
Yeah.
That's just a new age, let's call it woke thing.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need to hear from right then and there.
No.
My God, if you went and threw a mic in Aaron Rodgers' face after throwing a touchdown, like right after, he would look at you like, go away.
Maybe Rydell will put like a helmet cam in their things, and
And
we
then
can
they
do
can just-
interviews while they're playing. What the hell? Like,
all right, what are you running right now? Jesus Christ, man, I'm trying to catch a ball. Could you imagine? That's where we're going with that stupidity.
well, it would be pretty cool though if a receiver looks back and you're in that camera.
I mean, yeah, for a fan's perspective, it would be neat.
Yeah.
It would also be nice to be able to go on Twitter and make a play call, but I mean, that's really not smart.
Aaron, you are running the sweep right now. I don't care what your coach says. This is fan 103, and I'm in your ear right now.
This is the fan's perspective, 23. I know it's 4th and 19, but we're going to want you to throw a 5-yard slant pass. I'm not sure that'll go over well with the fans.
Could you do a quarterback draw, Aaron?
Seriously, guys, that's honestly how ridiculous it is.
But I do like the XFL's rules. I know they're kind of, the NFL's got money involved with the XFL, as we've learned. They're going to use them as a kind of a feeder league, I believe.
I think so, like almost like farm club type stuff. Plus, don't forget, more football is better football, because there are a lot of guys that get missed over, never got the right opportunity, were put in the wrong programs, and maybe the odd guy will get noticed. And his strengths will be seen, because you know how it is. I mean, look at Geno Smith's entire career. Gets put in a little bit of a different situation. Gets a DK Metcalf, Lockett, a couple guys like that. Get some good protection.
Little help.
Yeah. I'm not saying it turned him into an elite quarterback. That's not his thing, but he's usable, man. And he just never had that opportunity. If Seattle wouldn't have made that to get rid of Russ, let him cook over in Denver.
I'm excited for the CFL as well, because there'll be a lot of XFL players after their season signing in our league.
Yeah. And guess what? They'll be in the best shape of their lives.
100%. And I mean, they don't make a lot of money in the XFL.
No, just like the CFL, So they're going to want to come up and make it.
And they get paid. They probably are going to end up playing, 9 months of the year that way.
Yep.
I think it's a win-win for the NFL and the CFL.
I do too. I don't think it's a competitive thing. I think it's good for us fans.
No, I'm not sure how the USFL is going to fit in there yet.
I haven't done a lot on that yet.
No, I have not either. But I do not believe they overlap, the XFL and the USFL.
I don't think so.
No. So I think there's 10 weeks in the XFL, and then I believe the USFL will kind of be going direct head-to-head with the CFL. I don't know, the USFL is folded. And I just think the XFL with Dwayne running it, Danny Garcia,
it's got a lot of publicity behind it too because of them. You know what I mean? It's got the Under Armour thing. It's got lots of sponsorship. I don't think they're going to have an issue. I just think they got to keep the game exciting weekly, and I think with the rules, it'll help make it that way.
They do, and you got to develop that fan base. And when I looked in the stands, and there's not a lot of fans, but to get that passion started of a new team,
it's tough.
It is a new league. You're not sure.
I'll tell you, if I got a team in my city, I'm gonna go
I'm
one or
going.
two
I'm
game, and
going,
I want to
yeah.
see it.
Yeah.
And I haven't picked my team yet. I watched a couple.
Yep.
And I haven't decided on my team yet. I was gonna go with the Renegades only because our Riders lost Darnell Sankey there.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
didn't play that game.
Okay.
But he was one of my favorite riders last year. So I mean, that might be the train I hop on just because of him. I don't have a ton of ties anymore.
Yeah.
But
I kind of was on the Vegas thing.
Yep.
But then I kind of like San Antonio's logo, like
The Brahmas.
that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Little
Horns up,
country
baby.
boy. Eh?
Yeah,
Like.
I'm in Texas, baby.
How can you go wrong with that? But
I agree.
you know, the one downside that I don't like about the XFL is that they own all the teams.
I know it is weird. It
Yeah.
is completely weird. It's like
So how do you trust something?
I
like
know
that,
it's like
you
a
know?
governed
Yeah.
football league.
Yeah, it's like a government-run
That's
outfit, and this year, well, the odds are this. We'll make sure this happens, and I think they'll be fighting that battle the whole way as they go because they own all the teams. But let's hope that it grows. They get some new ownership in there to
fans catch on.
fans catch
Because I
on.
want to
and-
keep watching.
Oh, I do too. I'm going to follow it, and how exciting is that? That maybe one day we can look back and say, you know, I remember the first year the XFL started up, and look at it now. Who'd have thought?
It'd be cool, man, if it becomes legitimate, and I can be like, I watched the very first season that thing existed, and it was cool. And it
Well,
was
the
neat.
third.
That's
They
true.
have folded
first
twice.
with the new owners,
Yeah.
and that's why we're skeptical, folks. We know this has been a
Well, it's an uphill battle.
Yeah, it is.
NFL season ends. Do you lose the interest of fans? Kind of deal.
and you probably do some. I got a buddy that said, "Oh man, my Chiefs already won.
Yeah.
I'm content
Season's
for now.
over.
I'll wait till next season." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's great." And I totally get it. If my Ravens won, maybe I could say the same thing. I don't understand that.
The season ain't over until the Ravens draft, buddy.
God, Tyson's a good guy, folks. Really don't. I don't even know what to say. So,
Well,
son of a
I
bitch.
just love I love talking Ravens.
God bless the Ravens.
I actually kind of like the Ravens a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Not that the Dirty Birds.
They are.
You
Like
got
Ray
the Eagles,
Lewis,
baby.
like big promoter.
Ray Lewis, Ed Reed. I'll tell
Remember,
you.
I use him in my bedroom.
That's true.
You know, a little bedroom talk with Ray Lewis. You can't go wrong with that.
Talk
Yeah.
with Ray Lewis. Hey man, we're trademark.
Yeah.
We're trademarking that.
It's-
Ray, we own that.
It's
You don't
better
get
than a
that.
good cologne, I'm telling you that right now.
It's like Sex Panther. 60% of the time, it works every time.
Thank you, Ray.
Let's move on to the NFL.
Right on. And I'm
getting
excited. You picked the division. We're going to cover the AFC East first.
I did. I picked the division. So who do you want to start with?
Let's go with the top team in the AFC East. Let's
The
start
Jets?
with Buffalo. Yeah, the Jets. Yeah,
No,
yeah,
let's-
that number one team. Right?
We'll go with the Bills, baby. Josh Allen.
So go ahead. Start us off with the Bills, and
All right.
I'll add a little bit here and there. And
So week by week, we're going to dissect one division. So we'll have an 8-week stint. The last two divisions will be Tyson's Eagles division and my Ravens, just because we'll save it for last.
there's not a lot to talk about
There's-
in the Eagles division other than the Eagles. So
It's not a lot to talk about in our division other than nobody.
Pittsburgh.
But, fucking Steelers. Son of a... We don't talk about the Steelers. We don't have to.
Oh.
That's a rule.
oh, sorry, man.
Damn it. Leave the Steelers
Let's just talk
off
about
my
TJ
show.
Watt.
Not him. He's part of the Steelers. No more Steelers. All right, that's the end. I'm
Okay.
just going to look at my notes real quick. I have nothing on the Steelers. Perfect. We're done with them for tonight. Bills. Let's go with offense first. So I just did some research on rankings. I found this on ESPN. The Bills' offense this year ranked in total offense. I don't exactly know how they ranked it. Was it just completions, touchdowns, whatever? Fourth was where they
Good
finished.
offense. Good
Yeah,
offense.
good offense. What I picked apart from the different articles I read and just watching, of course, I watched most of the Bills game because I actually like Josh Allen a lot. And Stephon Diggs is fun to watch.
They're kind of everyone's second favorite team.
Yeah, they need to play all season.
They do.
I literally found that on multiple. I actually wrote that before it even started popping up constantly, but it popped up everywhere. Through like week 9, they were favored, way favored above everybody. Even though the Eagles, I think at that time had a better record, but way over the Chiefs, man.
Oh, they were. They were the
Man,
top
way
rated
over.
team in football.
And then they started barely winning.
Yep.
Loss here, barely winning. A little bit of turmoil in the dressing room, and then the playoffs kind of a had a little bit of a breakdown.
Had some injury trouble too.
Yeah, and injuries always play a part, but a winning team will make it through. The Chiefs had injuries, believe you me, and they when you're good.
Jesus
find a
Christ,
way.
you had to bring up the Chiefs again.
You kept bringing up the Steelers, so you know what? That's what's
No more
happening.
Chief talk.
Okay, let me check. Let me see if I got anything on the Chiefs. I don't. Okay, no more Chiefs.
Good.
No more
Good.
Steelers.
Thank you,
Deal?
buddy. Thank you. You
All right, we
betcha.
shook on it. No more Steelers. No more Chiefs tonight.
Oh,
For another week.
life is good for one more week.
For another week. Okay, so there. That's the offense. Defense, man, ranked 8th.
Yep.
Good. That's a good enough team. A 4th and an 8th team. You put it together, you're a championship team.
That's a nice average. Nice
Absolutely, it is, man. To have both.
Yep.
And what I've got for them, like we talked about, they need to stay super healthy, and they got a salary cap issue.
They do.
So they are going to lose some defense.
They do. And I will just say this here. I did a little cap space research, and 18 million to the negative for this upcoming season.
That's not good.
That's kind of like a farm financial line.
That's how you
negative.
survive
Yeah.
ranching. Yeah. It's
Not
how much
quite the 18, but we're close.
It's not how much are you making. It's hey, Mr. Bankman, how much can I get? I need to know how big my line of credit can be.
But so they'll probably do some restructuring, I'm guessing, like maybe a Josh Allen contract, do a little restructuring there. What do they need, though, in your mind?
In my mind, they need another big receiver.
Yep, I
to
agree.
help Stephon Diggs, big time.
Agree. Yep.
And they need, I guess this is just me, but honestly, their back end. Their cornerbacks, every game they got beat for like a 20 to 30 yard touchdown. Their front end was good. Their linebackers are good. That's how you get into 8th place as a defense. Top 30 percentile.
And to their defense, they probably lost more cornerbacks and safeties than anybody in the league.
They did. Like I said, it all comes back to injuries, right? So, but that again comes down to like having guys that can stay healthy, having that, like I understand you can't really draft for health, but man, there are teams that battle through it all year and they just couldn't do it. They're like the Ravens of the last 4 years. Sorry, I brought them up again, but
you bastard.
Honestly, the Ravens literally constantly, like the last few years, but the most injuries in the league 3 years in a row.
It's almost as if you're a Raven fan.
Yeah, you would swear. I mean, they're just so good. I should be.
Yeah, you might as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna be. What up? Why not?
But depth seems to be so key these days. You don't need a 1, you don't need a 2, you need a 3 and a 4.
Manager.
Yeah.
All about your manager.
Yeah.
You have a good general manager. He picks his pieces, builds his team, scouting, depth, everything.
What would you think of Buffalo adding, now I don't know if it financially is going to be doable, but there's a lot of stud running backs available. Like, I think they could use a running game.
They really could.
Yeah.
Of course.
Singletary's not good enough.
Yeah, no. Their running game is not good enough. I think
like
they
a Saquon Barkley.
But, I mean, absolutely. My issue was I never even brought up a running game because of their salary cap issue. Running backs are not cheap, even though they should be, and I don't diss any running back, but their careers are short.
Probably 10, 12 million, though, for a good starting running back.
It is, and it's in my opinion,
cheap,
and that's
cheap,
just me,
cheap.
Is actually too much because you're only going to get so many years out of them. But you're right. You got 10 million is cheap. I mean, that's crazy to say that, but in the NFL, honestly, it is. And they do need one, but they are 18 million the other direction. So my thing was cornerbacks are really cheap.
Yes, they are.
If you get a good young guy, most likely you're going to get an athletic guy that's going to take some penalties. But by week 8 and 9, you should have them tuned up enough. Because I've seen that with my Ravens a lot. These guys start the year and I want to kill them. And by the end, they're their best cornerbacks.
And there are lots of good players that don't see draft day, but they're out there.
Right. Especially that
huge.
Position.
Yes.
That cornerback, man, it's crazy guys they find deep. And it's because it's all athleticism.
Tall, lanky, run like
fast.
the wind. And you've seen it where they, track stars, whatever. They're trying to recruit these kind of guys, so
100%.
Yeah. So Buffalo does need a little bit of work. They got some work to do with the salary cap.
If it wasn't the salary cap issue, I'd say they're going in crazy good, but they do have some work because of that. That's ugly.
Von Miller maybe has to restructure too.
Yep.
Or,
you have to look at all the big guys. And I don't think Diggs is happy. No. That scares me a bit.
It does.
You can't replace him.
Yeah.
That's the issue. Because you need an AJ Brown. There's only maybe 4 guys you could put in there.
Odell Beckham. Besides Diggs.
No, God, no. I'm not even a Bills fan, but don't you dare do that.
Okay, well, let's go to their crosstown rivals. Let's go
Moving on
to the Jets.
Oh,
What do you got on the Jets? We're going to skip a couple teams.
Yeah,
here.
no. Well,
let's go to the Jets.
There's no order.
Okay.
This is our damn show. We do what we damn well please.
Well, I just thought we'd go across town.
I like it.
Short little trip. So let's talk Jets.
Jets. Offense. 29th. What are they missing? Everything. On offense. They need receivers big time.
Yep.
I'm talking a plethora. I'm not saying they need a bunch of number ones, but they need one number one. They need,
a number one.
Good God in heaven. The only thing worse might be the Ravens wide receiver core.
They need a number one as well.
Yeah, they need a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And they need to solidify a quarterback.
Yes, they do.
Important because this year was a damn disaster.
They
found Mike White.
Yep.
And I
free
really
agent,
liked
though. Free agent.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I mean.
Yep.
He's not there right now.
Yep.
I like having Flacco in my squad, but just because he's proven he's not a good quarterback. I never thought he was good even with the Ravens. He had one good season.
He's a manager. He's a manager.
Totally, but he can lend a lot of knowledge. He's won a lot of games, and he's been in a lot of situations.
How many guys have they tried to draft as that franchise quarterback?
God
and
almighty.
They just can't get him.
I only got 2 hands, Tyson. I'm not sure I can get there.
Well, pull a sock off.
Yeah, all right.
You're wearing some nice Edmonton Oilers socks tonight.
That is a lie. They got kangaroos on. I'd bring them up here, but I'll pull my groin.
Megan, we have a groin injury down here.
Meg, are you up there? Are you up there? Come down, honey. Anywho.
But back to the Jets.
That's the offense. So what do you think on the offense, other than what
the rumors are running pretty rampant with some big-name quarterbacks possibly going there. They're talking Carr. They're actually talking Aaron Rodgers. It would be really interesting to see if one of those studs does go there. Drafting. Oh, that's the sound of magic.
That is the sound of magic.
Oh, that was sweet, man.
You're welcome. I put that right up on the mic for you guys.
I'm totally distracted.
I was going to say, Tyson is glistening right now.
Anyways, it would be interesting to see if they get a real good quarterback in there. There's always room in the draft to get some wide receivers. The running game is pretty decent.
Yeah. Oh, the running game is good.
Yep.
Yeah, I have no problem with the running game.
I think probably maybe Mike White will stay as a backup. I don't know if there'll be a huge market for him.
Might be, and there might be a chance that he gets his chance again. I liked him.
He'd look good in Philadelphia to replace Minshew. Just saying.
Yeah, I agree.
Mike White all day.
I agree. Yeah, I like Mike White. He's got heart and grit.
Mike, let's get you in Philly.
Let's go, Mike. We got you, baby.
Just call me. I'll negotiate.
Yeah, we'll hook it up, man.
Yeah.
Fans' perspective.
I'll call Howie.
We got connections.
But they do have some work offensively. Their O-line, they've been drafting fairly well. Some of their top draft picks are really starting to come along. I see a great upside for the Jets. They do have, however, a $2 million negative cap space again.
I was going to say they're not near where the Bills are, but they do have an issue there.
This is the worst division in football for cap space.
It is.
Every team is in trouble except New England, and we'll get to them.
Yeah, we'll get to them.
Yeah. So go on the defense now. What do you got for us on the D side of the ball?
Love their defense. 4th ranked.
Yep.
According to what I found, their coverage game is 1st place in the league, next to the Eagles. Next to the Eagles.
Let's hear that there.
Yeah, and it was very close. I think it was like, I don't know, they used a 100 scale.
Yep.
It was like Eagles were 98.4 and they were 97.8 or something, according to the ESPN thing that I found.
They'd look good on Madden. Those teams would look good.
They would. My Ravens would beat both of them when I'm playing. And so like they've got guys, DJ Reed Jr. out of nowhere, Sauce Gardner kind of out of nowhere this year, kind of built them up, but they are established immediately.
It's interesting. Like the Jets always seem to have a pretty good defense.
They do. I think that's because their offense is never on the field.
Yeah,
So the defense gets
they're
a lot
conditioned.
of practice. Holy shit! Take their shirts off. They're chiseled like Greek gods. Oh God, their quarterback at 7 minutes a game. Their quarterback's at 63, 53.
53. Yeah. But
Sorry,
I like the way you think.
Yeah, overtime.
It would seem like 63 if you're a Jet defender.
That's
There's
true.
No question.
Or a fan.
Yeah.
But they only got 17 fans. They have to share a stadium
Yeah,
with the Giants.
they do have a nice stadium, though.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
MetLife?
Yeah, MetLife. It pays.
It pays. MetLife, it pays. Trademark.
Anyways, the Jets, I think, have some upside. Once they get their franchise quarterback, then it allows you to do a whole lot of other things.
No, it does. Yeah, and they'll be able to move their money around. The Jets will be fine when it comes to their salary cap, honestly.
It's amazing how these teams can maneuver around that. It is a little harder, though, because we're getting into an era in the NFL where a lot of contracts have some guaranteed money.
That makes it harder. But they are lucky in that they don't really have that superstar that's locked in.
No, they don't. They don't.
They could lose a guy here and there. No one's.
It wouldn't matter.
They got fillable guys.
Yes.
Yes. So that way, I'm not worried about their defense, but their offense is 29th for the love of God.
Yeah, and if they have a good draft, like you can fill a lot of holes.
Yep.
If you can get those 6th, 5th, 7th, 8th rounds coming, and they actually turn into something.
Yeah.
That's where it really starts to show.
Man, oh man. Yeah. I'd say the team's name, but he's going to kill me if I do. But man, their 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th round pick last year all turned into starters this year. It's insane. I won't say the name.
Oh,
he's
come
gonna
on.
be angry at me. The Chiefs.
Shut up. Shut up.
That's crazy stat. Like starting.
Oh.
All of those. Yeah, they won apparently. They always dictated at the end of the season, but that was something that I found.
You just had to.
And they won the draft this year.
You just had to, didn't you?
I didn't say
I seen that you were smiling. You were smiling when you looked at me.
That's because he's so damn cute. Oh shit! I do apologize.
Hey, I've looked in a mirror. You are blind too.
I'm not wearing my glasses. I thought you'd make it.
Yeah. But anyways, the Jets do have some work, but there is some upside there.
Their defense is a huge upside.
Yeah.
And defense, they always say defense wins championships, and you can attest to that this year. Your offense was phenomenal. Defense cost the game.
Yes, it did.
Defense, you need offense,
It
but
did.
honestly, the saying defense wins championships, it does.
100%.
The Ravens,
100%. They showed it.
When they won in 12 or 13, I could call it 2012. It was 2013 by the time the game took place, of course. They won on a stand.
When
Ray Lewis stand.
Yeah, when Trent Dilfer is your starting
the 2000 Super Bowl. Holy
you
hell.
have to play D.
4 playoff games, 1 thrown touchdown.
I know.
It's absurd.
I know.
That guy.
That team was built on defense.
Yeah.
No different than actually you look at the Legion of Boom, Seattle.
100%.
As good as Russell was back then,
their
Russell, defense was better.
And Russell wasn't great.
He's a game manager.
He's a great manager, and he had Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
But they had Lynch and a whole defense.
Yeah.
That Legion of Boom was,
that was stacked.
I hate the shithawks, but honestly,
maybe one of the best defenses we've seen.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah. I wouldn't.
Not quite ever. Not
the
quite
2000
ever.
Ravens.
Yeah.
To me,
Yeah.
I'm super biased, and I'm totally admitting to it. But I've seen highlights of that year, and then I've seen interviews with guys now, of course, 20 some years later, and they said they were petrified. These are NFL stars to play against the Ravens when they knew Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and all those guys were healthy. They didn't want to play them. That's absurd.
There's 2 defenses that come to my mind when I talk greatest of all time. You had one of them. Seattle, I will put close.
Yeah, Legion of Boom is a real deal.
And how about the days of Reggie White as an Eagle?
Yeah.
Like Jerome Brown in the middle.
I'm telling you, dangerous.
That was a team of defense too.
Before the refs got involved.
Yeah.
They let you.
We had
murder
Randall as a
someone.
quarterback, so they had to be pretty good at times as
I'm
well.
telling you, that's a real thing. Your defense balls out.
Yep.
When they have to.
Yep. So we got a little sidetracked. Once we start talking Ravens and Eagles, this just
all we
goes
got, baby.
sideways.
All right, let's move on to the next team then, brother.
Miami. Miami.
All right.
Tua, the land of Tua. We're
Hey,
going
man.
to talk about the land of Tua.
I'm a big Tua fan.
Are
Was
you?
Not at the start of the season. Absolutely made fun of him to guys.
Yep,
Man, all the power to him. He proved me wrong.
he did.
When he was healthy,
That, I think, is the
the
biggest
kid
question mark.
was a stud. And my only note on the offense, this is my only note,
Tua's health.
Tua healthy.
Yep.
100%. He stays healthy, they're a top 5. They're 9th in
Yep.
the league this year, but you got to remember he missed games. He's awesome.
And probably should have missed a few more than
yeah,
after that.
that's
first-
scary, dude. And that's, that's not right what happened there.
No.
I'll tell you, he shouldn't have been playing. Winning means more than health, and that's not a good thing. That's a knock on the NFL.
Yes.
But it is what it is. Every team would go through that because the league wants the best players on the field because the players are the dollar bills to that.
I just wonder out loud, like, you probably remember the days of Steve Young, and Steve Young had concussion troubles and all that. And to me, Tua is that mold.
Yeah, agreed.
He Steve had concussion issues. Tua's had concussion issues. If he can ever get over that,
Yeah.
Tua is a very good quarterback. I'm not a real big fan. I've never been really a Dolphins fan.
Oh, me neither. And I was never a Tua fan, but I did
Yeah.
see his heart.
You've seen some potential there,
I
too.
did. He's super athletic.
He is.
He had some
Smaller guy, so you got to root for the smaller guy.
Yep, he is. He's a smaller guy. But I'll tell you, I hated and loved him all at once. I fell in love with him at the same time. I literally learned to hate him when the Ravens had a 3-score lead on them.
Yep. Yeah.
And I was folding clothes.
I think I seen this game. Keep going.
I was folding clothes in my bedroom. Ravens game on. Up here on Canadian television, I don't have that rich boy American TV like old Tyson.
I can hook
me.
you up.
Yeah, I'm going to
I
come
can hook
visit
you.
a lot
Yeah.
more now.
Absolutely.
Every Sunday at Tyson's
any day,
house.
you're welcome.
All
man.
right, Sundays are at Tyson's. You heard it here first.
Just bring the Traeger.
Yeah, I got the. He'll have one on his deck. Don't worry. I watched it. I'm folding clothes, and we're up by 3 touchdowns. And I'm literally getting texts from my only buddy Landon in Medicine Hat. There, he's only the Ravens fan. He's the guy that got me hooked on
He's
the Ravens.
the only other Ravens fan
in Canada, probably. Yeah. And we are obsessive fans. And he's like, man, this is looking so good. And that was back. Then we even had Lamar at that time.
Yep.
He was still healthy at that time. It was the next week that he went
Yeah,
out.
I remember that. Yeah, Lamar got.
And
What did he get hurt in that game or the following?
No, that was the game.
Okay.
Yeah, got hurt at the start of the 4th, but it was already the start of the demise at that point. That game.
Yep.
In halftime, we're up by 21 or 22 points, and it should have been over. And in the third quarter, they scored 1. We didn't score any, but it was still like, oh, you got a 14-point lead. Lamar went out, and it was just like you could almost like a deflated tire. And I was like, but Tua literally owned that game.
Yep.
He came out, and you could see him in the third quarter. Like at the start of the third quarter. I remember him walking around the sideline, tapping everyone on the head. And I was like, oh, man, like, he's not giving up. Like, you just see, like,
he's a gamer.
He's a gamer. Like, he didn't give up. Like,
Yep.
he knew. He's like, we got a whole half football. We made adjustments, yada, yada, yada. They came out. They scored right away. And then we stopped them 2 or 3 times. But we still couldn't score on them. Their defense literally made adjustments.
Yep.
Stopped Lamar. Oh, we missed that 40-some-yard field goal as well.
You should have
So-
had Janikowski.
Yeah, we could have had Jenny. Yeah, we got Justin Tucker. We don't need him. But Tucker did miss that night. 47 or something yarder. And it proved to be detrimental because I think we lost by 2. But that moment, and then in that fourth quarter, I think they scored 2 quick ones within like 3 minutes towards the end to win it.
Yep.
Like they scored one and they got the ball right back. And then it wasn't like the Ravens couldn't stop him.
No.
And I was like,
And
I hate
Tyreek
this
had a
guy.
big game
Yeah,
too.
2 touchdowns.
Yep.
Yeah. And I literally was like, I think I hate this kid. But son of a bitch, I kind of like him.
Yeah.
God, I hate to like him. He
Yeah.
just beat my team. But that night I watched highlights and I was just like, Tua, when healthy,
I know why you said you like Teddy Bridgewater now.
shut up.
Because you wanted him in the game and Tua out. There's the love-hate relationship.
Absolutely. I would have rather had Bridgewater. We'd have won by 17 touchdowns. He'd have thrown 5 pick sixes.
I get it now. I'm putting things together. This is kind of a little investigative research that we got
Moving
done.
on. It's like the wounds never heal. Let's go to defense.
But Miami did, I'm just going to add this about Miami. They did have some great games.
They did.
Tyreek
Tyreek Hill, like you mentioned.
Yeah, they did beat the Bills in a big game.
You bet. Beat the Ravens. The Ravens are a good team this year.
They
were
are.
shit. And
Yeah.
they beat them with Lamar for 80% of that game.
Yeah.
And they were good with Lamar. They beat the Bills. man, they won a couple of their big games. Like they had some good games when Tua was healthy.
They did. So what do you got for us in defense with Miami?
Okay, Miami defense also not bad. 12th.
12th. Then,
12th is
hey,
where they're ranked.
not bad.
But this is something I tried to go to 5 different sources when I was doing my research on this.
Yeah.
All 5 mentioned second lowest in turnovers.
Oh, so they didn't have a lot of turnovers.
No.
Their plus minus wasn't great.
That's right. Their turnovers was they absolutely struggled to make turnovers. And another thing that was brought up in 3 of the 4 was that they had easy turnovers missed.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Like a
shot right
sure
to the chest,
pick and you drop it. Or
and game-changing moments.
Yep.
And that's crazy because if they didn't create a lot of turnovers and they still ended up as good as they were, man, could you imagine if they'd have made some of them turnovers?
Yeah.
Who knows where they would have ended up?
And it's so crazy because sometimes, I mean, it's just how it works.
It is.
Like
it's a fast game. Come on.
Yeah. Like half the time it works and half the time it don't. And sometimes, some of those days, everything's going good. And
you got a defender diving, catching with 2 fingers. The next game hits him right in the numbers, and he just can't hold it.
Yeah. But they do. That's not a bad defense. 12th. You got to give them credit. They got room for improvement. They are a young team. They are coming. What do you think they need to get them to the next?
Defense? They need to find themselves another Cameron Wake.
Yeah, good old Canadian BC Lion. He was awesome.
Yeah.
He went from the Lions for CFL fans.
Dominated
the NFL.
Absolutely dominated.
I believe he was close to the sack lead on numerous
times.
Yeah. He was a freak.
He dominated up here. He went down there, and everyone said the same thing that they do with every guy that dominates up here and goes down south. He'll be a bust.
Cam, I love you. I hope you hear this podcast. We would love to have you on the show.
Oh, yeah. Cammy boy. I'll tag you in this.
That would be awesome.
I'd love to have Cameron Wake.
Yeah,
he would be.
Yeah, no, he would be totally awesome. Like, I'd love to pick his brain about the CFL, the NFL. The comparisons,
training, all that stuff.
Huge Cam Wake fan. I am.
Oh, me too.
And he murdered us as a rider.
He destroyed our riders.
Yeah.
He single-handedly almost killed multiple quarterbacks that I love.
When he played with the BC Lions, it almost like he's played special teams, defense, and offense because he was everywhere.
He was like that guy that, when you're playing, I played Xbox today with the kids. First time ever I've ever actually played a video game with my kids. It's like when you get that special button, you get that boost speed.
Yeah, that was Cam Wake.
And just press this and he sacks your quarterback.
Going down memory lane, the last defensive player to win the MVP.
That's right.
Yes.
To this day.
Cam Wake.
Years back.
Yes. So shout out to Miami, Cam Wake.
Yeah, they need to find a guy like that. And that is not easy.
No.
That ain't easy. There's not that many of them boys.
There ain't. And there's lots of guys. The kind of, speculation, they could be this, they could be that. They turn into busts. Then a guy from nowhere comes along and he's great. And it's just so hard.
Oh, dude, the motor.
Yeah. And to be quite honest, the way Philadelphia is run, I think a lot of teams are going to go with that system.
I agree.
And it seems like that is more popular even in hockey with the 2 goaltender tandem. You're going to see a lot more in, a circle, a revolving circle is what I was trying to say, of players in and out, substitutions, keep guys fresh.
That healthy leg thing, because that motor is hard, man. I'll tell you, like Cameron Wake he was on the field 24/7, and fourth quarter, 3 minutes left, he was still the fastest guy out there. Like those guys are hard to find.
A different era too.
Stalwart. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like
old school.
Today's athlete, I don't know, maybe a little too soft.
Oh man, we don't need to get into that. But yes, soft as baby shit.
But so Miami has some work. They are exciting, but let's go to the last team in the AFC East. I'm going to throw this out there right away. The Belichicks, the New England Belichicks. They have $37 million in cap room.
Holy!
Just a heads up, there's some Flames highlights going on, and
they're just called
they lost, and let's hear an applause for that.
Oh, but they look good doing it. Great looking jerseys. Great. They got that big C on the front for choke artists.
It's definitely not champion, that's for sure.
Oh, God. He's got a big bird shit stain on his hat right now.
Anyways,
right.
let's get to the Belichicks.
Anywho. Let's start with the offense.
Okay.
Always.
And
Gotta
then
start with
when
the
you're
offense.
done with the offense, I'm going to throw something out there. We
I
talked a little
don't
bit
need to
off.
hear about it. Okay.
Well, this is right on New England's page.
Is it?
Yes.
Is
yes.
it?
yes.
We're not bringing up Steelers or Flames?
No. But we'll save it. Let's hear some offense.
All
Tell
right.
me.
Offense.
Tell me a story.
19th.
19th.
Not good enough.
Nope.
But I actually thought it'd be worse. Because I watched them a few times. Holy shit, man. But
They were kind of very sporadic.
were
They'd
they
have a game.
one game 37 points, the next game 6.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Let's
They-
see what my notes say. Pretty much exactly what you said. They need consistency and they need to build upon a quarterback. Any quarterback.
It's funny you mentioned that because I had mentioned this off the air a little bit. We were talking and doing a little pregame. We're Yeah,
Pre-gaming.
yeah.
Pre-gaming a little bit.
Anyways, an interesting rumor I read this morning. Mac Jones to Vegas to his old offensive coordinator. Would that open the possibility, now I'm just putting it out there, of an Aaron
Drum roll.
Rodgers, a Derek Carr, a Jimmy G reunion back in New England?
Shit.
Would you trade Mac Jones for one of those other three guys?
Yeah.
Or all of those three?
I love all of them. Are you kidding me? I'm not sure that's possible, but any of them. Yep. 100%.
Yeah. So that very interesting.
And me personally, this is just me.
Yeah.
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr. You
Aaron
think
Rodgers
he's
is
got
the
the biggest
biggest name.
upside, Derek?
Aaron Rodgers, obviously the biggest name.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers has the least amount of time left. He's probably the most temperamental. And the way that Belichick coaches, I'm not sure jives with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers runs the offense, not the coach.
No. And I don't think Belichick can.
And Belichick can't let go of the reins ever.
No.
He won't until he retires.
Yep.
Then he'll let go.
Yeah.
'Cause
Exactly.
he's not there.
Yeah.
And Rodgers ain't going to be taking notes and taking
No.
lessons and taking anything.
No.
You heard his disgust multiple times. Aaron Rodgers has zero issue telling a reporter what he thinks is going on.
Yeah.
And I love that about him. That's what I love about him. I love Aaron Rodgers. He wants to win. He's a gamer. But you got to have the right coach for Aaron Rodgers. I don't think that's the place, but I think Derek Carr can be coached into a winner. I think he is a good game manager. I think he hasn't been given the proper chance. I've said it previously on our podcast. I like Derek Carr. Yeah, I would love to see him in New England.
Yeah, and you know, there's some other names off the kind of beaten path a little bit. Would a Geno Smith look okay in New England? Would there is some interesting kind of next level, and I do have a list.
I think
here,
Geno
and I'm
is best
gonna
in
go to it.
Seattle, Tyson, just
Yep.
because of the guys like Lockett and Metcalf can help him raise his game up. I don't think they've got that talent in New England, and I don't think Geno has the ability to hit a receiver that isn't that talented.
So I'm going to throw a name at you just right out of the dark here. What do you think of Cooper Rush going to New England?
I like that better than Geno Smith.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely, I do. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I like the legs.
Yeah.
I really do.
Another one,
Yeah, I do.
Daniel Jones. If the Giants do not get him signed, because he's a free agent.
Daniel
as well.
Jones would do well in New England system. He is a system player.
Yep.
He's a manager
Yep.
of the game.
Yeah.
100%. And so would Jimmy G.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think Jimmy G would have a problem. I just personally, like I said, I've got a personal. I kind of like Derek Carr.
You're rooting for him because he's kind of got a raw deal. You
Totally.
see talent. He does
In
have
spurts.
the talent.
You know, there's games where it's like, what the hell was he thinking? But you don't know all the moving pieces.
No.
But then you see spurts of like, wow, man.
He's
Arm
that-
strength, fast, aggressive, tough, takes a hit, gets up, makes the next play, and you're like, shit, that's like essence of before Russell Wilson turned weird.
I kind of like Derek Carr. I cheer for him. He's just a likable character.
He is a likable guy,
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and you know, New England, it'll be interesting where they go with the quarterback situation.
Agreed.
That kind of needs to be solidified before they will take the next level, and maybe Mac Jones is their guy too. I don't know.
Yeah, we're not saying he's not, of course.
Or
but,
Daniel Jones, I should say, from the Giants, not Mac Jones.
But even Mac Jones, I got nothing against him. He didn't work.
Yeah.
If they're not going to change a bit, they might as well let them go.
Yeah. Yeah.
In my opinion.
And they do have some cap room, so that's
the only team
interesting.
really that does in this division.
Yeah, this division is really cap. No, they're all in cap trouble.
Yeah,
they're in cap hell. Let's be honest.
They've been drinking.
Yeah.
Idiots.
So it's really going to be interesting, and later in fall when we do previews, we're going to come back to this and see where they kind of all
my notes
lined
are
up.
staying.
Yeah, great.
I'm keeping all my notes.
And it'll be interesting to see when we could bring these numbers back up where we were today and where we are in September.
Yeah, even or to look next year at this time.
Yeah.
Kind of need to see if they progressed.
Yeah,
degressed,
regress,
all that stuff.
And so much can happen, and you know it's a crapshoot. But talk some defense on New England.
All right, now let's go defense. I got zero issues with their defense. They ranked in 5th, and out of all
that high,
they did, yeah.
Okay.
They ranked in 5th, and of all their stuff, their real issue was the deep ball, the deep threat. Their corners was their only weakness on every single out of all 5 of the articles.
Yep.
The cornerbacks was the only issue, but their run game was strong. Their linebackers were strong, and it was just that deep ball that once, twice a game burnt them almost every game.
They were susceptible to the big play.
They really were. Yeah.
Yep.
The rest, man, they held it down.
Yeah.
They had, like in spurts, they had running defense that was phenomenal.
Yep.
But even the running defense, it did say a few times, excuse me, that they let a big run go once, but it was like a game changer.
Yeah, and
they couldn't allow 3 yards, and they allowed 25, and it just solidified.
Those are
the other
backbreaking
teams.
plays.
They are just deflating.
Yeah, yeah, and you know it
They
seems
couldn't
like
finish.
every team in the league could use help on the line. It's just you just can't have enough of those guys.
Yeah,
and you know playmakers are playmakers, and you need lots of them.
Oh, you do, man. The NFL is so talented. You need playmakers in every position.
It's actually, when you really look at it, it is a very fine line between success and failure in the NFL.
Man, it's probably the finest line in any sport.
Yes, yes.
In any sport. And I don't say that lightly because Tyson knows I'm a huge hockey fan. And the difference is it's so minute in football.
Yeah. I'm a huge sports fan. I love hockey. I love football. I love baseball.
Curling. Tyson literally loves it all. I'm more specific into what I love.
You got a little golf in you and stuff like that.
We're going to get to that, baby.
You betcha. But I really I love talking NFL. It's
NFL is my favorite.
Yeah, and it's a really fun season. It's kind of in Canada, it's our off season, it's our winter season, and we got a little time for it.
Yep, that's right. It's true.
And there's nothing better when there's a Saturday night football game, a Sunday night football game, a Monday night football game, and a Thursday night football game.
You know what, Tyson? It's crazy because a lot of the Americans, of course, God bless you, you beautiful bastards. They don't get it. Like we love the CFL.
Yeah, we do.
We're Canadian. So we actually, we get
football
Friday night games. We get multiple Saturday night games, and then Sunday the NFL, Monday and Thursday.
Yep.
So we got a lot of football at a certain time of year because our CFL ends in November and it starts in like June. So that's cool. We got a long football season for us.
We do.
And the XFL is going to add to that if it continues, which we're liking.
Yes, yes.
But I will tell you, if you guys get a chance to watch the CFL, there's some awesome stuff involved there. I really do enjoy it. Go Riders. If you're from the States, you haven't picked a team yet, just pick the damn Riders. We're the only team to pick. Who cares about a record? We're
going to try and bring the Riders with this show. We're going to try and highlight them a little bit here and there. So,
you wait till that season. We got a new quarterback, which I'll get into.
Yeah,
we got a lot of stuff happen this week for the Riders.
Yes, and that's probably a
trade
show.
Deadline, or not trade deadline.
It was free agent frenzy.
Free agent, yeah, that's right. And it was really good for the Riders.
Yeah, and it was. And that's probably a whole show in itself.
It is,
but,
we'll get into that.
You betcha.
Our next show.
Yes, sounds good.
So we'll do the whole Rider show, all that stuff, the next one. Anywho.
So we're done. The AFC East.
Yes.
All the teams have a lot of work to do. And let's see where it goes. But I want to hit on a few other NFL things that happened. Eric Bieniemy to the Commanders.
Wow.
Assistant head coach and O coordinator.
Holy shit. That's crazy.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask the question. Did he make the move? I got a couple reasons in my head. One, he needed to get out of the shadow of Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes? And 2, is he the next man up after Ron Rivera?
I think it's a little bit of both. I honestly believe, because you don't leave a winner, like when you got a horse like Mahomes and a winning offense like that, and I mean he built it. You don't just leave it to leave it, unless you hear that you got $6 billion to leave it.
Yep.
He wants to be a head coach.
Tell me, how is he not a head coach with his success?
That's crazy, but with the team he's with, he's not going to take out Andy Reid.
No,
that's never going to happen. So,
but how is he not on another team
instead of going to become an offensive coordinator for the Commanders? Why is he not the head coach? I don't know if there was enough head coach vacancies of where he wanted to go. I assume Washington is maybe a location that he personally loves.
That's going to be a soft landing for him.
Yep, and he feels that he's going to be the head coach.
Yep.
And this is just a stepping stone.
Yep.
We talked about it we talked about. We had a little pregame chat before the old pod.
And he's probably getting paid quite handsomely.
He's probably making a little bit of money
to leave the Chiefs. I mean,
at least $50 an hour.
Yeah, I would say maybe 60 if he's lucky. But I think he's gonna have a lot to prove. It'll be very interesting what he can do with that Washington.
If you can make Washington offensive, Jesus, man, just give him the keys to the kingdom.
Darren Lehman will be so happy.
Oh my God, Lamo, you listening? you got the man now. If you can't get offense now, just become a Ravens fan. I got you.
And you it's funny you brought up winners, and so I'm going to get into just a couple of Eagle headlines here.
Jesus, man. It just doesn't end.
They lose both their offensive and defensive coordinators this week.
That's true.
So they got some shoes to fill. It'll be interesting to see where they go with that, how their offense changes from Steichen run offense to whoever. There's some internal
Greg
candidates.
Roman's available.
Who did you say?
Greg Roman. He's available, baby.
Oh,
he did just wonders with my.
You give me a stomach.
You can have him. Holy.
How about Jason Garrett, the old cowboy?
He's got red hair.
Yeah, I actually think they're going to go internal. I really do.
Too.
But
sure as shit ain't going to Greg Roman. I'll tell you that.
You know what I like, and I've always been a big promoter. I like to see young coaches get the opportunity. I hate the revolving door of this guy who's been on 7 or 8 teams, and the next team thinks that he'll be great.
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't mind the movement, of course, when it's like the Bieniemy type thing.
Yeah,
that's a different situation.
Coordinators, but head coaches seems like
I'm with you. Give someone new a shot.
Buddy Ryan was on 8 teams in the NFL. He was okay with a lot of teams, but I don't know, what changes? What makes you think you're going to have success? Yes, players on different teams help, but I don't know. It's just, I like to see young guys get the opportunity.
Yep, I agree. I'm 100% behind you with that. It's you're a winner.
You betcha. So let's move on. We've taken quite a bit of time on the football talk, but let's go into a little chill. NHL. Right. And we're going to get to the Oilers and Flames, but big news of the week, the Toronto Maple Leafs, they trade for Ryan O'Reilly,
huge
Noel
trade.
Akari.
A great trade for the Leafs.
What I want to know is, did the Leafs have some pictures of someone with sheep?
They did. There was Velcro gloves and sheep, and all sorts of
St. Louis
lobotomy shit going on.
St. Louis has taken 50% of the contract on the trade.
Yeah.
Minnesota's taken another 25%, which only leaves the Leafs with 25%
of
a half-a-year contract.
That don't even start with me. That trade doesn't make any sense. Any team would have been all over that.
Yeah, for draft picks or
are you
no-name guys. Wow.
What the hell was everyone else thinking?
Hats off to the GM of the Leafs. Wow.
We still hate you, but
nice
work.
Yeah. And so we're talking about the Leafs, and they had a great trade here, and it's a win. But I'm going to throw this out there. Are they thinking they're going to lose Austin Matthews? They need to kind of replace it? Because the world sports, if Connor McDavid was in his last year of his contract, the Leafs and the Toronto Sports Network would be saying,
That's
well, he's coming
he
to Toronto.
staying? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's leaving Edmonton. Well,
Everybody's going to Toronto. If you ask
wake
them.
up, Toronto fans. Is Austin Matthews
Oh,
on his way
I'll
out?
tell you this: he might leave, but I bet you the porn stash stays.
It makes you wonder, and how can they sign another guy
I know,
to
it's
8 or
weird.
9 million after
How many
this?
how many cooks do you need in the kitchen, baby?
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
It literally is a make or break.
What do you think?
Yeah.
We talked about Matthews in Arizona. Maybe?
Yeah. I'm thinking he's on his way out. Just putting it out there. I know Leafs fans won't like to hear it, but
well, nobody likes to hear from the Leafs fans.
no,
Anyways.
yeah, let's hear an applause to that. I do think there's something where there's smoke, there's fire, and
shit.
Austin Matthews is maybe looking south. And to be quite honest, there's a lot to look south for.
There's sunshine, less
yeah,
taxes.
yeah,
God
less
almighty.
taxes.
I'm moving south.
They can live a normal life. They
Totally.
can go uptown and not be recognized. And
Yeah, that is huge. Yeah. What about the carbon tax?
Well,
One more time for
I
the
don't
carbon
think they have
tax.
one.
They don't. Only us dumbasses have a carbon tax. Here, I'll pay 50 more cents towards them.
but kudos to Kyle Dubas for the trade. I commend him for that.
It was awesome. I'll tell
Yep.
you. I can't believe they pulled that shit off.
No, and got a lot of teams to basically they're paying nothing for it.
Yeah,
Draft
it's
picks.
crazy.
Yeah,
Makes
but
no sense.
I do not think Toronto has room under the cap to
No.
do anything either.
And
So-
I still stand by my report 2 weeks ago. Make it past the first round and they'll choke in the second.
Yeah,
It doesn't
well,
matter
we're
who
gonna
they
see,
get.
and that's a whole nother show. When we get to playoffs, we're gonna do a little picking
yeah.
of the series. And,
Also, Leafs fans, you can bash me all you want. Don't worry, the Flames probably won't even make it to the first round, so you can say what you want. But I'm just saying, you'll make it past the first, you won't make it to the second.
Leafs suck. Let's just be honest.
Boo!
Yeah.
You're basically
Anyways.
the LeBron of the NHL. You're welcome. Holy
Yeah.
shit! Sorry about that.
Anyways, moving on. Let's talk a little Flames talk here.
Oh, why we gotta do that?
Yeah. Well, they
Hey, we won on Saturday.
they did, and it's kind of a bit of a plague in Alberta right now.
Oh, God.
Both teams cannot win in overtime, but I prefer talking about the Flames' pain over
All
the
right.
Oilers.
Well,
So
let's talk about the.
what do you
Flames
think
pick.
about the Huberdeau tweet by his agent?
I hated it, but apparently I don't know much about it. I only know from, of course, what I watched
Yeah,
and whatnot.
yeah.
And Friedman, I always like him. As goofy as he looks.
I like Elliott.
I
yeah.
do like Elliot
Yeah.
Friedman. Yeah, he always seems factual
He is.
when he talks, so I trust
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
He always has a source. You know, when he
Yeah.
says something, he's like, "Well, he always
I
brings up
think-
the source."
I think he's the NHL insider.
And-
Like him and Merrick are very good.
Agreed.
Love them both.
Yeah.
And we'd love to have them on the show.
Oh
as
man,
well.
Friedman
Like,
would be great.
yeah.
Friedman,
like,
if you're listening, which I know you're not, but let's get into this.
he's on the Fan 960 in Calgary. I listen to him quite a bit on
Yep.
there, and I know we can do better than the Fan 960.
Oh,
come
for
on,
the
the fans' perspective,
For the
where
love of God, we could.
sports talk is all that matters.
They don't got no 5'9" on their table. I'll
No,
tell
they
you that.
don't. Or a chilada.
They don't got Chilada.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
a swear jar.
Yeah. So anyways, the
Get
Huberdeau
heavy.
tweet there, it kind of raised some.
Yeah, and apparently he's done it multiple times. Ellen Walsh.
Yeah.
And he's been in turmoil a few times. And the thing that got me this time, because Friedman brought it up a few times about other players that he's done it for, other
Yep.
people he's
Yep.
agent for. They're pretty outspoken guys. Huberdeau doesn't want to be in the spotlight.
No,
This, I don't think, was something Huberdeau wanted or knew was coming.
I got a
Um,
feeling he's going to switch agents.
But
down the
I
road.
do too.
I don't think.
But
it's that low.
honestly, I don't hate it in the fact that sometimes stuff like this sparks a fire underneath the player too. He wants it gone.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, like tonight, he did have a point. I saw. I don't know how his game was. I didn't get to watch. I was gone today
Yeah.
for family day, but I watched Saturdays, which was the first game after the tweet, and his best game of his entire season. He had a goal, an assist. You laid, I think, at least half of a body check.
Is this Saturday you're talking about?
Saturday.
Okay,
Saturday.
okay.
Oh,
So you did get the W.
Baby.
Yeah.
We did. We won in overtime. Holy shit. No joke. My wife texted me. She was in Calgary for the weekend on a girls' weekend.
I heard that.
And she's like, "Oh no, your Flames are winning 2-0. Now it's 2-all. Oh my God, it's an overtime. You must be crying." She's texting me these words. "You must be crying. They never win in overtime." And I'm like, "For love of God, you're right."
From her too,
like,
eh?
She knows. She's like, "Oh, he's gonna be angry tonight." And so she's like, "Oh man," because they know as soon as the Flames get to overtime, 48
Game
seconds
over.
later,
Game
you
over.
get the update. They won in overtime.
know.
She texted me. All she texted was, "Holy shit, thumbs up." That was it.
I'm a little worried since we started doing the show here together, and we've been hanging out quite a bit. I've noticed my Oilers can't win in overtime either now, and I just hope this luck isn't rubbing off on me. Like
It might be me. I could be. I got a shower.
Life was so damn good. The Eagles, the Oilers were going.
Then we started this.
Yeah.
You know, Tyson's first episode was "Life is good for Tyson. It can't get any better." And now the poor bastards, Eagles are done. The Oilers can't win in overtime. The Caps' heads are falling off.
It's crazy. And actually, we were gonna do this show on location tonight, but
we were live from the Calving Bar.
Yes, and we're looking to do it next week, but got a little cold tonight, so I decided to warmer weather prevails.
Yeah, we're gonna do some cool stuff. We're gonna do some different locations. I'm in the works right now. I'm getting a podcast studio built for me and Tyson in the backyard.
Can't wait.
So we can have a stogie while we do it, whatever we want, to be kind of out of my basement so my wife doesn't have to listen to us all night.
Before I forget, for those of you watching on YouTube, please click like and subscribe.
Yeah. Honestly, guys, comment whatever you want to do. And honestly, I had a message tonight, Tyson. This is for you.
Well, for me.
You didn't get to see this.
Okay. Should I close my ears?
No,
or is it good? It's good. Okay.
Well, it's something you'll know that I don't.
Okay.
About women's curling this weekend.
Oh, yes.
2 measurements were brought in.
Yep.
And apparently it was a shit show.
Okay.
I don't know anything about this.
I believe I've seen some highlights of this.
Okay, so explain what happened and why it was a shit show. We have a listener right now, actually a good buddy of mine, who messaged me, and I had no idea what he was talking about.
So
it was our first real question.
Yeah, of curling.
Bringing it up. Yeah, and curling.
Jesus, I thought...
Shut up. Just answer the question. Don't...
Here, I thought I'd actually bring up curling, and, I really thought we'd be talking about specific girls.
Well, this was women's curling.
It was, but we're going to talk about the measuring of shots instead.
So what happened, Tyson? Shut up.
I'm totally sidetracked. By the way, did you see that calendar picture?
Okay, I did. It was on his Instagram. She had a nice mom.
Nice everything.
Yeah, she's a good personality.
Yeah, but anyways, they had really close measurements, and they had, so the rocks are in the rings, right? And when it's too close for the eye to see, out comes the measuring stick, right?
Okay.
And there was some discrepancy when they measured on the gauge of the measuring tool as to which rock was actually shot. And they had to spin it around a couple times. They really weren't sure. And it was just a shit show. Like, look at the gauge, read it. And those gauges, all of those who have curled, like, if you pay close attention, you can distinctly see the needle move, right? So I don't know where they went wrong or who the helpers who are helping, maybe not that familiar, but anyways, it looked bad on the Scotties to have to measure this thing a couple of times.
Yeah, twice.
And not really know for sure which is shot rock.
Right.
So, and also in the curling, they've been having trouble with the rock. So there's the hog line, you know about that, and you got to release the rock before you cross. Well, there is a sensor in the rock that if you cross the hog line without it being out of your hand, the sensor goes off and it's called a hog rock, eh? But these sensors have not been working at these Scotties, so they've been going and releasing, and some are being called hog, and they're not sure. And
even if they're not?
So the technology is kind of failing, and then, some rocks are working, some aren't, so then they go the old school way, and someone stands at the hog line and is watching, and they've had some troubles at the Scotties this year. they have had some issues, no question about it. You know, technology, measuring, lots of interesting times.
We don't have to measure in hockey.
No. No, but
But the girls are prettier.
We do struggle with goaltender interference.
Oh, that's true. But there is measurements in football.
Oh, yes, there is. Yes,
there is.
Yes, and you know, they don't get them right all the time.
No, absolutely. Oh my God! Don't tell me about it, Jesus. All right, moving on to something I love.
Okay.
So we're
we're talking girls now. We're talking girls.
Oh, I do love girls, but we're gonna move on to something even better. Something that used to love a lot of girls at once. Tiger Woods, baby.
Oh, yeah. He had quite a he had a stable.
Oh shit! Tiger's the man.
Yeah.
Tiger is back, baby. He wore red on Sunday. He barely made the cut for Saturday.
Yeah.
Friday, I was devastated. Even if you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, whatever we got, I even posted. I'm like, it looks like he's gonna miss it by one stroke, and then that stroke moved.
He made her.
He made it, and he had a great round on Saturday. Played fantastic. Sunday came in. You know, all in all, Tiger ended up having a great weekend. He finished. He was healthy when he's done. He said he's not going to know for sure the type of shape that he's in until probably Monday or Tuesday. See how his body reacts to a full tournament. But the crazy thing, not everybody knows unless you love Tiger and you follow him, which I do love Tiger, man. He brings something. I'll tell you, most watched event of the year so far, of course, of this next season, I should call it the year, was this tournament, which wasn't even a major, only because he's there. He brings something no one else brings. He brought people, he brought fans, viewership crazy up.
He's Connor McDavid of the NHL.
Right now, yeah. He's the Gretzky.
He's
the Connor
Patty
McDavid.
Mahomes.
Totally. He brings that viewership to Bedard.
Patty Mahomes.
Sorry about Mahomes. Yeah. But his iron play was phenomenal. His putter was good. His driving was pretty good. It was just sporadic a bit. But he literally, nobody knows this, he adjusted his swing completely.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot more wrist and arm and upper body because his knees and legs are shot.
Yes.
He's got injections. He wears braces 24/7. They have to wrap both of his ankles. You know, he's not young.
So he looks like Forrest Gump.
And, yeah, he would if you didn't see him in his clothes. But he is completely braced up when he goes out there. Nobody knows that underneath the stuff.
Really?
His ever since the accidents.
Yeah.
And the amount of golf that he used to do, he used to train like...
He almost died, let's be honest.
Yeah, he did. That
was
accident was rough on his body.
Yeah.
Plus, he trained harder than anybody else in the league. Like half the guys had beer guts when he had a six-pack.
Yeah.
The guy, he pushed his body to the limits.
He was the first athlete in golf.
Yeah, man. But don't get me wrong, John Daly is the shit.
Oh, yeah.
Love
Shout out
Johnny.
to John. Shout out
Johnny's
to John.
the man. Fan of the show.
You betcha.
Fan of the show.
Fan of the show. Way to go, John.
Absolutely. Loudmouth golf.
You bet.
But no, Tiger golfed great. It's great for the game. I do believe he's going to win one or two more tournaments. I have no idea if they'll be majors, but that's I'm saying it right. You heard it here first. He's going to win one or two more big tournaments. And then he'll continue to play.
Put it on your calendar.
Put it on there. I don't know which one.
Yeah.
I haven't decided yet. We'll see if he comes back, when he comes back. But I got to get into this one more topic on him, and then we can move on or whatever we got to do. He outdrove, I believe it was, Justin Thomas, whoever it was, doesn't matter. I'm just drawing a blank right now. And he had to apologize for this, and it pissed me off. He outdrove one of the young guys.
Yeah.
By a lot. His driver is banging right now, further than he's been driving for years. He's got a new swing, which is crazy.
Was that young guy brought up in the fair play era of sports?
No, the young guy, whoever it was is a good dude. It wasn't him that complained about what just happened. But as he's walking down the field, Tiger had this planned because a man doesn't carry this with him.
Yeah.
But he had a tampon with him.
Really?
And he outdrove this young guy who always outdrives him. And he winked at him, and he shook his hand and slid him a tampon because he outdrove this young guy.
Gotta love it. Way to go, Tiger.
Amen. What? And the kid, I think it was Justin Thomas.
Whoever it was, it's a great.
He loved it. Yeah. Everybody was on board with this humor. Tiger has literally turned from the guy that nobody wanted to talk to, the arrogant, the guy that just kicked everyone's ass, to basically like the elder statesman that everybody looks to.
He's the
love him.
He's the Palmer, the Nicholson,
and he's turned into
golf,
a great guy.
Yep.
And like Rory is one of his best buds. First guy to text Rory every time Rory McIlroy wins a tournament is Tiger Woods. He said, I can't even get off the green and my phone is vibrating. He said, no, look.
Nice.
And it's Tiger.
Nice.
Congrats, little man, or whatever he calls him.
Yeah.
But after that night, Tiger had to do a public apology on live television.
That's too bad.
Because it was grotesque and this and that is sexist and all this bullshit. That is great. That is the shit that happens on a Fans Perspective 23 right there. I will be handing Tyson a tampon when his Oilers are getting beat out by whoever the fuck makes that playoffs and beats them out. There'll be a tampon slit over there.
Not this year, man.
Maybe not, but maybe next year then. Either way, I ordered 12 tampons. I got 12 losses for Tyson, and he will get those. They come in bulk. I had no choice.
So what do you think of, I seen a little bit of the interviews that Tiger did on the weekend here, and he's talking about, he won't be in a lot of tournaments. He's going to pick and choose, and
kind of has to, sadly.
His body just isn't built anymore.
No, he's not young. He's elder statesman in that. Plus, his body is rougher than most because they've never trained like he did.
Yeah. So, and we're on the topic of golf, and you're the golf guru. I don't follow it that much, but I'm willing to learn anyways a little bit. But what do you think? We haven't got on the topic of live.
I hate it. How many episodes ago did I say the line, Tyson? If it's all about money, it never works out.
I think we cover that every episode.
Yeah, it never works out if it's all for money.
Yeah.
And
that's
honestly,
what live is.
Totally. Like these guys, they don't even have to play in every tournament. They have to pick like 4 tournaments to play in, and they get their 40 million. Like it's huge money.
It's they're trying to buy
the Saudi oil money.
Yep.
And that's another thing I don't like.
Do they pay carbon tax?
Yeah, let's not get into the carbon tax again. Screw you, Trudeau. Like I'm not a fan, and that's honestly, Rory has become my second favorite golfer of all time because he took a hard stance on it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what money you're going to throw at him, not happening.
No.
And I appreciate that. I think there is an absolute good for you in that, and it's for the love of the game, and it's for the sport and history. And that would be like some guy in Europe starting a hockey league and saying, I know you guys make average 2.8 million a year. I'll give you 30 million a year. You say, screw the NHL. You come play. You're going to play 42 games. I don't care if you win or lose. Guess what? The cup is what it's all about. The team, the experience, the league. Like there's years of history just gone. Like those golfers left, and now they're bitching and moaning that they can't play in certain tournaments.
And that kind of was the KHL, what they tried to do there. And that's kind of a has-been and a never will be, right?
But golf did it. They followed through, and some of the douchiest guys, the old historians in golf, the Normans and stuff. And
it's going to be interesting when these two come to a head, and the PGA with the Masters and all the big tournaments. And I know you can't cross both. You got to pick and choose. You got to be one or the other, right?
And I get it. Like some of the guys are like, well, the rules were absurd and this and that and that and this. Well, guess what? You knew that when you became a PGA golfer.
Yep.
You wanted to make your millions and get your sponsorships.
It was okay then.
It was totally fine then, but then you realize, I don't have to have rules. I don't have to be there on Wednesday to train. I don't have to wear this color. I don't have to do this or follow these rules at this exact tournament. Well, guess what? It's always been that way. You signed up for that. That'd be like being in the NHL and being told you can't wear sweatpants to the game before the game. You say, well, screw that. I don't find a league that lets me wear whatever I want.
I'm out.
I don't want to wear a suit.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? You knew that when you went in.
100%.
And golf is a pretty nostalgic, historical, fancy pants game.
Yep.
These guys, it's all about that, like they're almost like, I think of them as I think of the British, like very proud.
Yep.
Very, I don't know. And I think that's golf.
You betcha. Yeah. And speaking of rules, we're going to get on to a new topic now.
Yes.
And, exciting news coming out of Major League Baseball and all the new rules. And those watching on YouTube, you're going to see Blue Jays. I'm sporting the Blue Jays swag and
huge Jays fan. I'm
Yes.
an Orioles fan.
Awesome.
Big Baltimore Orioles fan right over here.
Boo, but I just want to put
You
it out
didn't
there.
even know that. I just
Yeah.
sprung that on.
Yeah,
him.
you're just like a Baltimore guy.
Give me Baltimore, baby. Ravens, Orioles. That's my squad.
I just want to put it out there. I know it's only preseason, but Yankees, Red Sox fans, like, we are going to kick your ass up and down the field all year long.
It's a fact they are. And then the Orioles are also going to do the same. So, you know what?
But let's get on to the rule changes, and it's going to be exciting. I wrote down a few things here, and so there's going to be no infield shift this year. So that means in past they could have had their shortstop on the second baseman side and the second baseman kind of playing in the gap there and the first baseman. Now they have to have equal fielders on both sides of the field. Shortstop cannot cross second base, second baseman cannot cross, and they have to be not on the grass. They have to be in the infield.
It does change a lot, to be honest with you. Like, even a non-baseball fan, literally just think of that. It's crazy. It changes everything. When you have, let's say, that super athletic guy that can just move around and do all this, doesn't matter if you got that guy anymore. He has to play a stationary position at that point.
Yeah, and you know, to add on to this a little bit, if you want to have a guy in the porch in right field, you can take your left fielder and put him there, but you're leaving left field right open there.
Now you're leaving a lot of gaps if you want to play it that way.
Yeah, so no infield shift, which I think is going to make for some more offense.
Oh, it will, and that's what they're going for.
Yep.
Just like hockey with changing the pad size, glove size, block. That's what they're doing. You know,
and I do like it. I like all these changes, but a pitch clock, a 15-second
that's what
pitch
I
clock.
love. But the whole reason I've always hated baseball is this is a fact. Every time I've been like Mikey Dirk or my buddy Kylie or whatever tells me how obsessed they are with, of course, always Blue Jays.
Yes, go Jays!
That's our only team.
Yeah, Canada's team.
That's Canada's baseball team. Mine's the Orioles. Anyways, that's Canada's baseball team. So,
you're an idiot.
Go Orioles, baby. I'm not really sure what they say, but go Orioles. Go.
I suppose you want Lamar to play for him too.
Oh, throw out the first pitch, baby, all day.
That'd be the first time he hit someone the whole year.
Tyson's gonna die.
But 15-second pitch clock.
I love it because every game, and I swear this is the truth, every game I've ever tried to watch, and like, oh, you gotta watch a game. I don't know what they are, 17 hours long, 20 some hours long. I'm just like, I don't have an entire day to devote.
3-4 hour games.
Yeah, I love that idea. That will bring it to that 2.5 hour mark.
It will, and it is from the time the pitcher catches the ball, this clock starts.
That's wicked.
Yes.
It's like a football timing.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
It keeps the game moving.
Yes. And to add to that, the batter only has one timeout and at bat now. So it's not like every pitch, back out.
I love that, man. I watched, it was a couple years back, but it was a World Series. I don't remember how many times. I was just like, how many times can one guy put his damn hand up, touch his dick, and then adjust it a few times, scrub a little bit on the damn dirt?
It kills me. Undo the glove every freaking pitch. Like,
the
come
wristband, the elbow thing, the leg thing, spin a few times, adjust the helmet, get back in there, hand up after the next pitch, do the same shit.
Here's my suggestion. If they're having that much trouble with their gloves, like, just get the latex snap-on ones and forget
I've got some nitriles upstairs for cooking. I'll hook them up.
Yes, like,
the good enough for brisket, good enough for the MLB.
100%.
The Orioles would wear them.
Let's go to that, and you could maybe do some prostate checks while you're there.
we can pull cabs tonight.
Multi-use. So
bigger bases.
Yes, bigger bases.
Explain to me that. What's the ideology?
3 inches. So
3 inches is a lot. Just in case you're listening, Megan, 3 inches is a lot.
Huge.
I'm telling you, like, whoa.
It's a total difference.
It's a difference.
So there are, 3 inches doesn't seem like a lot, but your base paths are closer then, right? So trying to get more stealing with this, because I didn't mention this, but you are only allowed as a pitcher to throw to a base twice.
Didn't know that.
So if there is a runner on first, I can only go over twice as a pitcher. After that, no more. So that means I can't hold that runner.
Yeah, then he's free in.
He's free in. Bigger bases, no throws to first. All of a sudden, you're introducing more stealing.
That's
more
true.
excitement.
Even that 3 inches is a difference. You're
Huge. We just went over
that's
that.
the biggest. I'm telling you, honey. Are you listening? It's huge. I
So
told
they
you it
used
was
to be a
huge.
15-inch base, 15 by 15. They're now 18 by 18.
18 by 18. That's
So-
actually huge when you
Yeah,
think about it.
yeah.
Square inches.
Yeah, it is.
Massive.
It is. Like the area is going to make the field seem so small now.
They're gonna look huge on TV.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're like wearing a 12 or 13 size shoe, like look at the advantage.
Holy hell!
But yeah, so that, it's going to make for the steals. There's more base to touch. They're saying it's a safety thing with collisions on bases and stuff more than anything.
I got you.
But at the speed guys are and everything, it's not only going to be a safety thing. I think it's going to be more of an offensive advantage as well. And maybe for double plays, when the shortstop comes across and he swipes the base, and it's probably going to be advantageous in a lot of ways.
Understood.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, I mean, those are just a few of the rule changes. And I really like that Major League Baseball is introducing, the calls have been coming, improve the game, speed up the game. Well, here it is.
Yeah.
They have listened.
Kudos.
Yeah. So all we need is the NFL to listen a little bit, and we can get some
Coaches
coaches challenges.
challenge.
Maybe get the catching thing a lot better. And,
One
we didn't.
foot down would
yeah.
be so nice.
What is the XFL? We never talked about that. Like, what is the catch rule there?
2 feet down, but they don't have to sustain
Good.
the ground control.
Yeah. Way better. Way better.
On going out, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm glad baseball is listening, and I'm really excited to see all these changes and how it changes the game. Because let's be honest, a pitcher up there, the clock is ticking down, and you may not have the pitch that you want to throw that your catcher is called for. You just got to throw the damn ball.
Yep. Just throw it, baby.
Yeah, and I don't know yet. I never got into reading enough. Like, so what happens when that clock runs out and the pitch isn't thrown? I don't know where that is yet.
Yeah,
So,
that we don't know.
yeah. So that there's more information coming down the pipe, and I'm looking forward to digesting it and seeing it in game action. And they introduced it at the right time. They got a whole preseason of baseball, Grapefruit League to
Yep, that's right.
work with
Test
this.
it out.
Test it out.
That's the nice thing about baseball.
Yes, and it has been in the minor leagues. It was in the minor leagues last year.
Okay.
So it has been
They've
tested.
tested it already, yeah.
Yes. So
That's the way to do it.
yeah, but anyways,
Kudos to the MLB.
yeah, you bet. Kudos to them. But
Go Orioles.
I think we've covered a lot tonight, and NHL. I mean, Carlson rumors to Edmonton, and
And man, could you imagine? I know we haven't gotten there, and
Yeah.
it's just been, it is a long show. But let's finish with that.
okay, sounds good.
You know I hate the Oilers, of course. It's by nature. Yeah.
That's a laugher.
But it'd be like if Carlson was the rumors were coming to Calgary.
Yeah,
Just saying.
yeah. Why would he?
It
want
would
that, though?
exactly. Why would it? That'd be stupid. I don't even want to play there. But it would be huge. I'm telling you, it would be Paul Coffey. Man, Carlson is a gamer. If they can land it, and I hope for their sake that they can.
Yeah.
Game changer.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the fence. I like Carlson. I like what he can do. He does have a bit of an injury history.
Yeah, but if you only need him to get you that cup
Yeah.
this year, there's not much
Yeah.
time left. He's
Yeah.
not going to get in.
No, but he's got 4 more years in his contract.
Yeah,
That's the
I
scary
know.
part.
Flip it. You only go for one season.
I know, and as we've talked in previous. As a GM, it's not what you're going to do for me down the road.
That's right.
It's what
You need
have
to
done
win
for me
today.
lately. And let's be
And
honest,
the Oilers do need to win.
Edmonton has to win.
They have the
Draisaitl
rest of the
contract.
pieces.
Yeah, Draisaitl's due 2 more years after this. McDavid in 3. Don't get excited, Toronto, because he's not coming.
But Matthews
yeah.
might be leaving.
Draft picks. I love that. Let's give that an applause. Draft picks mean nothing. They are a win now mode. So let's go for
As
it.
for every team should be.
I would sooner strike out than
Yep.
take the last pitch.
Me too. Oh man, 100%. Go for the fence or
Yep.
go for nothing.
Yeah. And kudos to Kyle Dubas in Toronto for that Ryan O'Reilly.
Yeah,
trade.
that's a big deal.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. That is a
It is.
huge deal for Toronto. As much as we hate Toronto,
Yeah.
that is a big, huge part to that
You
team
know what's
right now.
funny though? They're still talking about Patrick Kane to Toronto. I want to know what sheep and what pictures they're going to pull out of the closet to get
Wow.
Ryan O'Reilly and
You gotta
Patrick
remember,
Keane.
Patrick Kane's already got photos flying
Yeah,
out there.
well,
in
he's
the
got
interwebs.
something. Yeah.
So he's already done some
look out,
stupid
taxi
shit.
drivers.
Thank you. There we go. It might not be sheep, but
Yeah.
it was some type of a taxi
But
cab
like,
driver.
if they can get Ryan O'Reilly and Patty Keane and get other teams to pay for it, well, Kyle Dubas run for prime minister.
Yeah, honestly, you can do it. Get rid of the carbon tax, and I don't know.
Yeah, but the Leafs just suck, and they're not going to win. And
Nobody
Matthews is leaving, and
Yeah, he might leave tonight.
let's give an applause to that.
Goodbye.
Matthews on his way out. You heard it here
Goodbye,
first.
Austin Matthews. You're welcome, Leafs fans.
Though they did get that ex-Islander John Tavares, so they can be happy. with
They
him.
did.
And,
They got him. They
yeah.
got.
I think we could send him Jesse Puljujärvi probably.
Hey,
if they're looking to
They can
replace
have Luch
Matthews.
too if
Yeah.
they want. They're gonna go whole package.
A package deal
Alberta
from
package.
Yeah.
Maybe we'd stop losing in overtime.
You think they dropped the carbon tax then?
Shit. I mean, if it's worth it, I'll go with it.
Puljujärvi and Lucic for carbon tax exemption.
Are you listening?
And we'll cover the full salary.
Yeah, we got it. We got it.
And we're talking about just inflation and idiot Trudeau, and let's give a shout out to Pierre Poilievre. Like, that's our man. Like,
It's our dude right there.
a blue collar guy who wants to run a country the proper way. Pierre Poilievre.
Yep. Yeah, my vote.
Mine too.
Yep.
Mine too.
Go
But
Orioles.
You betcha. Blue Jays,
Orioles.
Yankees, you suck. We're gonna beat your ass
Red
all year
Sox
long.
blow too.
And I'm not sure who Chad likes in baseball, but
We'll find out. He's
uh,
our Chad Ward is going to be our first guest of our podcast. So he is a world-renowned pitmaster, whiskey bent barbecue, and he has a lot of ties to different sports. His dad coached. He was an athlete himself. Great dude, and super knowledgeable with all sorts of American sports. Not so much on the curling side or the hockey, but I'll tell you, he'll give us some football and baseball knowledge.
Too bad, Chad. The Jays are going to kick your team's ass
No,
too. I don't care.
he doesn't even know which team.
It doesn't matter.
He
It
doesn't
doesn't
give
really
a
matter.
shit.
We got Vladdy. We got Bo. We
Oh.
got like endless.
He's very excited. He hasn't mentioned them. My Orioles might be first this
And
year.
I am really excited. I hope we can hook it up down the road. Maybe get Ken Griffey on here, and I would love to talk baseball with him. And there's
man.
that Seattle-Toronto rivalry. Seattle's like a home game to Toronto.
That's true.
Us Western boys travel.
That is true. They do. I mean,
Yeah.
there's only one team in Canada.
Yeah, exactly. So that would be cool to have him on too, and talk a little baseball, a little politics, a little of everything.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. But yep, Chad's coming on. We're just waiting. We got a few technical pieces to buy for the show here, and they'll be here this week.
And
So next,
Chad, I'm still waiting for the goddamn hat.
oh yeah,
It hasn't
we
shown
got
up yet.
we'll get some whiskey bent swag up here. You don't have to worry about that, old Tyson. And Chad is going to be involved in some of the talks in regards to the football divisions.
Awesome.
He's got some insight on that.
Nice.
And
And I will trade a Saskatchewan Gopher for one hat to Chad. Like.
I'll mail you the gopher, old boy. I got you.
So to end the show, let's get a little bit of your passion. Anything going on cooking wise down the road here?
Oh man, I got lots of stuff coming up later in the year here, but in the next little while, no. My brother's going on a golf trip with my dad and my other two brothers, so I haven't planned anything. Nothing real big going on. The last thing I cooked was for you. You and another local rancher in town here got a couple briskets.
Yeah.
I hope it was good. I really haven't chatted much about that.
I am alive yet.
He
so
hasn't died.
No,
He hasn't died.
I just want to tell you, not just because you're beside me, not because you're a friend. That was probably the best damn brisket I've ever had. Like
Tyson, that makes me so happy. That was on the brand new Traeger Grills Timberline, and that was whiskey bent Ancho American and the Rocks blend itself. So Chad Ward's literally his rubs was all that was on that bad boy.
It was absolutely amazing. My wife
yeah.
loved it. My friends loved it. It was tremendous.
And nobody died.
Great job. No one died.
Life is good, folks. And
betcha.
so no, everything's good, Tyson. Not a lot going on. It's Parker's hockey season.
Nice.
Had a big
nice.
tournament yesterday. They
Yep.
won it.
Yay!
Darn right. It's my son.
Way to go, Parker!
My son got his first ever shutout, and he played out 2 games, and he got the Hustler Award. The game he played out,
Nice.
He rocked a few bodies.
Nice,
I got some
nice.
footage, pretty great. And big tournament this weekend off to the city of Regina.
Oh,
for
awesome.
4 nights. It's going to be awesome. And how about you? I know your son is been playing midget hockey.
Yes. U18, we advanced to second round of provincials here on the weekend.
Attaboy Peyton.
Kudos to that. He had a great game, and the team played well, so super stoked about that. Moving on to playoffs this week in league and second round of provincials. But when you're in Regina, get some Triffon's pizza. I'm just saying.
Triffon's?
Triffon's.
Consider it done. They'll be posting it on the page. He said it first here, folks, so I'm trying it.
It is awesome.
Okay.
Every time, my daughter lives in Regina, and every time I'm there,
Triffon's Pizza.
Triffon's Pizza.
Okay, I'll be asking you what flavor, and we'll be ordering that shit out.
You betcha. And I
Calving?
just want to, calving's busy. 60 plus calves in the ground. Weather's been great, but I'm in for a rude awakening. It looks like this middle of this week. Life will get better by the weekend. My damn son is on a cruise in the Caribbean.
We're about to hit the winter Arctic.
Yeah.
Son's
Hey,
living La Vida Loca.
Dad, I'm going on holidays. I know it's calving, but sayonara, baby.
God bless children.
And I just want to give a shout out. After last show, you were showing me your deep freeze and showing me all these cuts and stuff. And kudos to Centennial Foods. I love the packaging.
Oh,
I love the cuts. Looks great. So just shout out to Centennial Foods.
Awesome. They've been great to me, and that is going to be part of the show. We are going to be cooking something from Centennial Foods coming up per episode. We're going to start doing an appy hour, and it's going to be great.
I cannot wait.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. And I'm really looking forward to the night we do a little Saskatchewan gopher on the Traeger.
Oh, yeah. That's not going to happen. Nobody needs to
We'll
die.
stick with Centennial.
I'll tell you, no, I don't think Chad Ward could keep us healthy from a damn gopher. I think that little vermin might kill us all.
Maybe we can do a little Prairie Harvest Farms beef and some Centennial Foods steak. And
I'm in.
Yeah, sounds like a great night. And kudos to them. I was very impressed by the packaging, by the cuts, by everything. So shout out to you guys.
Appreciate that, Tyson. They're good dudes. I'm cooking for them soon.
Nice.
Yeah, we got a big thing coming up in June.
Right on. So thank you, fans, for tuning in. It's been a slice. Look forward to next show and a whole new selection of topics and a new division in football.
Lots of Riders stuff coming up. We got a little more NFL, more XFL. Gonna have some golf, a little bit of everything. Tyson will hit up the baseball. Get me tuned in on that. Don't forget to check us on Instagram, YouTube. Like, subscribe, follow us, guys.
You betcha.
We're gonna have Twitter coming out and Facebook soon as well. Email right now is josh@fansperspective.ca. Let us know if you want to hear something, see something, whatever you need. And we're also gonna start going live on YouTube as well.
Awesome.
Right now they're just uploaded, but it's going to be live probably starting next week. We're just waiting for
and don't forget, fans, please like and subscribe.
Yep. All day.
It's been a slice. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.
Cheers, guys.